This video ends when I find a 5-star read. So it'll either go on for 5 minutes or 5 decades. There's really no in between here. So I have 3 book options that I think could possibly be 5 stars for me, but I'm really debating on which one I should read first. So we either have The Office of Historical Corrections, or we have Piranesi, is that how you say it? Piranesi? I'm not sure. Or we have The Hurricane War. I think for now we'll rule out The Office of Historical Corrections. So now it's between these two. I don't know, they both sound so good, but I think right now I am in more of a fantasy mood. Well, that's fantasy too, but it's different. It's different, okay? Hello, it is Editing Erica here from the future to inform you that there will be some dog barking in the background of this next clip. But please just bear with it. It'll be over in like 30 seconds. Just know that it is this cutie pie right here that is doing the barking, so please forgive his cute face. Okay, back to the video. So basically there's like kind of a war going on between the dark shadow magic users and the light users. But then as the main character in this book, as she fights the crown prince of the Shadow Kingdom, in a turn of events their magic kind of like binds together, and now they have to work together as enemies to defeat the true enemy. So it sounds amazing. It's like enemies to lovers, forbidden romance, fantasy, of course, like magic, I love that. So this is a very strong contender. I'm very excited to get to this. Without further ado, let's get into the Hurricane Wars and hope it is a 5-star read. Page 60 of this book, chapter 6, and I am very happy to say that it is dual POV, and I have only read 1 chapter of Alaric's POV, and then it's been like 4 chapters of Talison's. Honestly, love them both as characters already, and getting to see both sides of this war is very intriguing already because they both have their motives as to why they want to hate the other and defeat the other, and it'll be so interesting whenever they have to meet up and like team together. So I'm very excited for that. It is building a lot of anticipation, so good sign, very good sign. I'm gonna keep reading and I'll update you when I have any more thoughts. I'm trying to grow out my bangs, right? And they're getting to a really, I wouldn't say awkward point, but they're just like a little too long for me to like them as just like normal bangs, so I have to kind of sweep them to the side. And I look like a stupid Victorian child, like, berries and cream, I'm a little lad who likes berries and cream. Oh my gosh, so just pretend you cannot see whatever's going on here, okay? Thank you, thanks, that's great. But yeah, this book. I'm 55% through it. I'm on page 263, chapter 22, and I really don't have too many things to say, but of course I do have something. And my only thing right now is about the 2 main characters. So they're like, you know, enemies to lovers type thing going on, but honestly, I don't believe their relationship. I don't get it. Like, I do see the potential they have as a couple, but right now it almost feels like forced. It's like they're supposed to hate each other, and they say they still do, but then it's like ever since their first interaction they were like, oh my gosh, why am I still thinking about her? Or oh my gosh, why am I so attracted to him? Girl. So the author does use a lot of tropes, I feel like, and while that can be good, I do feel like it's starting to feel a little overused because for the relationship, it does feel like she's just trying to check off boxes. Other than that, I am liking the story. It's definitely not giving me a 5-star feeling, but it's also like not. I don't know, I still have a lot left of the book. So yeah, let's get back into reading. So this is absolutely completely unrelated to the video at all, but you know, I felt the need to share. So I just tried Dunkin' Donuts coffee for the first time, and it is actually so good. I am very impressed. All I had heard about Dunkin' Donuts previously was that it was trash and awful, so this was a very good attempt for my first run. But if you want to know about actual book updates, you know, the reason you're watching this video, I am about 80% through this book, so I am about to sit down and force myself to finish it. I'm on chapter 32, page 388, so I have about 90 pages left, so this is being finished today. I promise. Also, the relationship, forget everything I said in that last clip. It's very good now. It's very good. I figured out why I don't like these bangs. It's because it makes it look like I have no eyebrows. I promise they're there. Okay, let's get to reading this. Oh my gosh, these people will never not be interrupted. That is so annoying. Bro, one thing is, this girl needs to get a grip. Open up your eyes, bro. This is so bittersweet. Like, I don't know how to feel. Oh my gosh. Feels a little bit indecent to be recording myself reading this. All I'm gonna say, for those of you who have read this book, page 450, all I have to say is book 2 is gonna go absolutely crazy. So I actually started this book without looking at it on Goodreads or anything, so I'm just now checking, and it has an average rating of 3.68. And the first review I saw, it had me cracking up. It said, "This book is either a sweeping epic fantasy or takes place in Florida." That had me dying. I love that comment. And then another review said it was a Raylo fanfiction that got published. That's actually hilarious. Okay, so I'm gonna stop looking at the review so I can formulate my own thoughts. But basically, this book, I will say immediately, it was not a 5-star, but I did enjoy it. So the first like 20%, I was really liking it, but then it kind of got into a slow patch for like 50% of the book, so I kind of had to like push through that. But then the last 30% of the book picked up and I was eating it up. That being said, I think I'm going to give this book a 3.5. The world building, it was cool in some parts, but then other parts I really just like did not get it, and I think that's why I laughed so hard at the review that said this is either a sweeping fantasy or set in Florida. That's my thoughts on the hurricane lore. Overall, I'm glad I read it. That being said, we are still on the hunt for our 5-star read, so let's go take a look. I'm thinking about either Piranesi because it's kind of short, or maybe The Center? We should do a video where you choose my reads. Hi. Okay, you should pick which one I read. Piranesi or The Center?
My mama told me to choose the very best one, and you are not it.
This one? Okay. Thank you. So as you saw, my lovely, lovely mother chose Piranesi. So this is the book we're gonna be reading. But Piranesi lives in like this house that has like infinite rooms. The corridors are endless. It's magical. It moves. It shifts. And I think it has kind of like an underwater aspect or something like that because some rooms get flooded occasionally. I'm really not sure. It's something like that, but it sounds like super magical. I saw lots of fan art for it and it just looked so like beautiful and incredible, so I'm expecting the writing to be super descriptive, but hopefully it's not too descriptive because sometimes that can get super annoying. There's only one other person in the house, a man called the Other, and twice a week he visits Piranesi to ask for help into a research thing, but as Piranesi explores, he discovers evidence of another person living in the house and like a terrible secret. Like I said, this is kind of very hard to describe, so I'll be able to say more once I actually get into the book. This will be the second book we read in today's video, so let's hope it's 5 stars. So it is a while later and I am 43 pages into this book. I was about to say 43 chapters. No. There's not much going on right now, but it is very interesting from what I've read. It's told through a series of journal entries, except it doesn't really feel that way. Like, it feels very immersive, you're in the moment, and the narrator, it is very interesting to listen and like read his thoughts. So I'm definitely interested, and I have a good feeling about this book. I mean, it has only been 43 pages, and I read that in one sitting, so obviously I am having a good time already. And then during the conflict, or what I'm assuming to be the conflict of this book, we've only met the other, which is the only other person living in this labyrinth, built up a lot of anticipation for the readers, but our main character seems kind of, I don't know, I wouldn't say naive, but I mean, it appears that he's like lived in this labyrinth his whole life, so obviously he doesn't know any better. He doesn't know the cues of social interaction, which will be interesting to see like develop throughout the story. So basically, all that to say is that I'm enjoying it so far, and I have a good feeling that it's gonna be a 5-star, which is like good and bad, because if this is 5-star, it's 5-star, you know? But if it's 5-star, that means this video ends and I would have only read 2 books. So, you know, we'll see, we'll see. Let's get back to reading and I'll update you with any more thoughts later on. I just got to page 70 and something new was just kind of brought up in the book, and this makes it so much more interesting. Like, oh my gosh, if you've read Flowers for Algernon, Piranesi in this book is reminding me of both Charlie and Algernon in a way. If you read the book, you know you know. But I really do love that book, so if there's like any resemblance between the two, I am already like hooked. That was a 5-star read for me, and if that's reminding me of this, then like this book has set very high expectations for me. I'm very excited to read more, so I'm gonna get to reading. Bro, this book just keeps getting like deeper and deeper into like the lore and like the history and the mystery, and it's just like so intriguing. Like, what happened? What is this place? Why does Piranesi not know anything but everyone else seems to be so knowledgeable? Like, what is going on? And now we just learned some more information, but like, is it true? What is going on? This is so good. Stop it. Like, I am eating this up. I just reached part 4 and I am halfway through the book, and it's gonna be a 5-star. Like, it can't not be. It's just so incredible. I don't see how it could not be a 5-star. It like reminds me of all my favorite books mixed into one. All the mysteries, thrillers, like literary fiction, fantasy. It's just so incredible, and like it's so page turning. Like, I just want to know more. I can't put it down. But yeah, I am gonna stop here for tonight, unfortunately, but I do have to go to bed. I'll let you know when I have any more updates on this book. The bangs are back. I couldn't do it anymore. I could not survive living the way I was. Anyways. I have now finished Piranesi, and it is not a 5-star. But it was so close. Oh my gosh. I genuinely don't even know how many clips I have of me reading this book because it went by so quickly. I was eating it up every step of the way. Oh my gosh. I was like, there's no way this book cannot be a 5-star. It's like so amazing. My mind was blown. I was just like enthralled the whole time. I was right about the writing being like descriptive, but it was like not too descriptive. It was just like, I thought it was easy to digest and I loved it, and it was so like visual and appealing to my senses. Absolute perfection. Until the ending. I was just a little disappointed because, okay, so every other thing in the book had a kind of, I guess, slower pace, but it was really good. It wasn't like slow where you were like, oh my gosh, let's pick it up. It was slow in like a very good way. It allowed the characters to develop and grow and have a personality. But the ending, I felt it was so quick for no reason. Like, I wanted to know more about this world and stuff, but then it was just kind of a little bit disappointing. I wish it was drawn out longer, explored more, and then I was a little confused with like the character motives at the end. So that's why I'm giving this book like a 4.5 or 4.75, and I know that it's so absolutely infuriating. I don't know why I'm being so picky with my books lately, but I really have. It's like a 2024 hit, then bam, all of a sudden I'm giving like every book 4.5 instead of a 5-star. But yeah, so because I still have not found a 5-star read, this video continues. So I have already picked out the next book I'm going to read, and that is The Office of Historical Correction. So this is a series of short stories about kind of like our society and delving into women specifically and how different women experience things, I'm pretty sure. But genuinely, I do think this could be a 5-star. I mean, I've heard so many good reviews about this book, so I am very excited. So there are 7 short stories in here, and I'm kind of like really looking forward to this. I have never read a book like this before, but I do feel like the type of reader I am, I would enjoy something like this. So this will be a very kind of interesting dive into a new genre, new type of book, so I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the 3rd book of this video and hope it is a 5-star. I think 3 books is enough. This, you can be a 5-star, please. Thank you. So yeah, let's get to reading The Office of Historical Corrections. So I just started the 4th short story, I think, and I am on page 85, and so far so I like the stories, I like the author's writing, I like how good she is at making us feel attached to these characters in such a short amount of time. But like, the problem is I become so attached to them, and then it kind of feels like just when the story is about to like pick up and like resolve or come to a climax, it kind of ends and leaves us with like a lesson they learned, I guess. Not really a lesson, but it just kind of leaves with the thoughts they have in their head at that moment and allows us as the reader to kind of reflect on the story as a whole and kind of stuff like that. But maybe I'm not the type of person who can read short stories, because like reading these has just made me want to read entire books based off just that one character, and then it's kind of like I have to move on. But the author, like I said, does do an amazing job at re-immersing us into these different stories. So like, I have read 2 of them at least back to back, and I do feel like it wasn't an issue jumping from one to the other, so props to the author for that. However, I'm kind of like not too invested into this, well, at least as of right now, since I just started a new story and I don't know much about it. But yeah, I have liked the 3 stories I've read. The latest one, I forgot what it's called, A Boys Go to Jupiter is what it was called. That was probably, it's really hard to say, that was probably either my least favorite or my favorite out of the so far. Maybe my least favorite, but it was the most like interesting, I guess, most unique. Yeah, that's probably what it is. I'm going to keep reading this, and I'll update you on my thoughts later on when I have any. So I am now on the 2nd to last story called Anything Could Disappear, and a trend I'm noticing in all these stories is that there's always like one wow factor. There's always like one line drop that makes you go like, oh, okay. In a lot of these stories, we are kind of witnessing the consequences of actions you make, and that is really interesting because while the things that are done in these stories or have been done are a little more unique to add to the drama aspect, it definitely allows you to relate to the stories as well and put them into your own experiences, like reminding you of any time that you made one simple choice and then a whole cascade of consequences came, or just like one thing you did that changed your life. And that's basically what this book is. Some are definitely more interesting than others. So I just started this Anything Could Disappear story, and I just finished a story called Why Won't Women Just Say What They Want? And that one was definitely a low point for me. I was like, what am I reading? I think that story just went over my head because I did not understand it. I did not like it. I was just like, what did this add to my experience? I'm 50% through the book. I started it yesterday, but I only got like 20 pages in, so I read most of it today, and I'll probably try to finish it tomorrow. But I'm about to try to sit down and read at least a good chunk, finish this story, and then there's one more story after this called The Office of Historical Corrections, and that's the longest one. I think it's about 100 pages, so hopefully that one is very good to end it off. But yeah, I'm gonna get back into this and once again, I'll let you know how my thoughts change over the course of reading this. Bro, it just happened again. I just finished the 6th short story and it ended on like such an awful note. Like, ugh. I want the story to be expanded upon. You can't just leave me like this. That's been like how at least half of the stories have been so far, and that's so annoying. Like I said, I know we're supposed to like look deeper into the meaning and kind of let the ending, the true ending, I guess, be up for interpretation, but I guess I've learned from this that is in fact not my thing, and I like it written out point blank for me. I do not want to think if I don't have to. But anyways, I am on page 163 and I have just reached the final short story entitled The Office of Historical Corrections. So I'm really intrigued to see what this one is, as it's also the title of the book. So I'll probably read a little bit more tonight, but actually no. I'm probably gonna stop here tonight and then I'll read this tomorrow, which is like 100 or so pages. So I will see you tomorrow to hopefully finish this book. Okay. The Office of Historical Corrections completed. I need a moment to think about my thoughts. So, Office of Historical Corrections. I have finally gathered my thoughts on this book and here it is. So, I'm going to be rating this book a 3 stars. So, not a 5, but here's why. So I gave it a 3 because I felt they were a little inconsistent. So there were 6 short stories and 1 novella, and I felt the level of quality varied greatly between many of them. Some were just definitely stronger than the others, and when they weren't good, they were pretty like, eh. It was pretty meh. I don't know, I just wasn't a huge fan of the author's writing because it was very descriptive, but also like not descriptive at all. That doesn't make sense, but I feel like, okay, so one thing, such as a character's job or a character we very briefly get a glimpse of, that could be described for pages upon pages. But then, like the conflict being resolved or the lack thereof a resolution could be described for like 1 to 2 sentences. I was just like, oh, okay. But yeah, overall, my attention wasn't really grabbed for a lot of this book. I did talk about this in another clip, I believe, but they also ended like very abruptly. I do feel like the ending at least should have been a little more drawn out because, I don't know. Like I said, these stories were all so descriptive up until the ending of all of them. I didn't like the ambiguous nature of it. That's just how I am as a reader, I guess. So yeah, 3 stars. Now I have to find another book to read as we still have not found that 5 star. Oh my gosh, this is the 4th book now, guys. I'm gonna go through all of these shelves. I'm gonna look at Goodreads reviews this time, and I'm going to like pick a book I know for sure could possibly be a 5 star. So I can have the highest possible chance for finding a 5 star. So yeah, I'm gonna go do that. So after much deliberation, I decided the 4th book I'm going to be reading in this video is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I was about to say Elsie Silvers because, you know, but basically this is like a romantasy and it is so beyond popular right now. I've heard about this book everywhere on BookTube, Instagram, TikTok, and all my favorite booktubers have read it and loved it, so I think I could also enjoy it. and it sounds super incredible. It's like a mix of the Hunger Games, the Red Queen, and I haven't read the Red Queen, but from what I have heard of that book, I think I would like it, so you know. So basically there's two different types of people in this kingdom. So there's the elites and the ordinary, and Peyton is an ordinary, meaning she has no magic powers, but she is posing as an elite and pretending that she has magic powers as a psychic. However, after she meets, I think, Prince Kai one day or something and like saves his life, she's thrown into this trial type thing that is made to showcase off the power of the elites, and basically that is just the Hunger Games. So but I am super excited. I don't know if this is enemies to lovers, but I'm assuming it is, and I mean, I'm always down for that. So this is kind of similar in a way to the Hurricane Wars, the first book we read in this video, but hopefully it'll be a 5-star rather than that book's 3.5. So I'm putting a lot of pressure on this book to be good, but I don't know. It sounds good. The cover is pretty. I've heard amazing things about it, so fingers crossed it is a 5-star. Let's begin Powerless by Lauren Roberts. Well, I definitely meant to start this earlier on in the day, but it is now 9:30 p.m. and I have officially started it. Also, look at this book. Oh my gosh. Look at that cover art, man. I wish every book that had a dust jacket had a design like this on the front of it, because it makes it so much more special, but you know, whatever. But I'm only on page 16 and I already have lots of thoughts. The author is just I already love her writing because, like I said, I'm only on page 16, probably not even 3% in, and I already feel so attached to these characters, the way in which they interact with others. I already like them both as people, which is very important. If I don't like a character, I'll obviously have a harder time, you know, really believing their story or liking it, I guess. But I already feel connected to them, attached, and I'm just so excited to read the rest of this book. I'm going to read this book to maybe at least get 5% through. And then I'll read more tomorrow and so on and so forth, so you'll see that. Goodbye. I'm gonna get back to reading this. Dang, bro, I didn't realize how bad it was to be an ordinary within this place. I thought it was kind of a situation where she chose to pretend to have powers so she could have a little bit of a higher status, but I didn't think it was this serious. So this is definitely adding to the tension of the story, and I'm kind of scared now because Prince Kai, I thought he was nice or whatever, but I mean, I guess he is still the prince, and his father is the one that demands that all ordinary should be killed. So I guess, you know, he was raised a certain way and believes certain things, but this adds to the drama tenfold. Okay, never mind, he does have a heart. Okay. Chapter 6. I'm on page 44 now, and this is kind of a weird comment, but I hate the name Kai. It is so overused as of the past couple years, and I can't take it seriously. I'm so sorry. Just Kai. The name Kai just kind of builds up this weird hatred in my heart every time I hear it, and it's so odd. Even people in real life, I've had no bad experience with anyone named Kai ever, but the name just it makes me really angry for no explainable reason. So this dude's name being Kai is kind of causing me some issues, but I'll try to look past that. Maybe if he's a really good character, it'll make me associate Kai with good things now. Maybe this book will do 2 things for me. It'll help me end this video, and it'll help me get over my weird hatred of the name Kai. So yeah, I'm probably gonna stop here for tonight, but so far it is so good, and I'm so excited to read more. I will see you tomorrow. Another daily dose of complaints from me. So I don't actually have any complaints towards the quality of the book, just another random complaint that probably only applies to me. But one other thing I hate in books, fantasy books especially, is whenever a character calls another one darling. Like, that is so stupid to me. I feel like I kind of see that in a condescending way. When you call me darling, I'm like, who are you talking to? And also, I guess as an American myself, I automatically like picture characters in books just speaking with an American accent. So whenever I hear darling, especially being from Texas, I hear darling. So that's definitely not seductive if that's what it's supposed to be. Hello, Farrah darling. I don't know. I really don't like it. Like, aren't you 19? Why are you calling me darling? We're literally the same age. To me, that's something an older person says to a younger person as like a term of endearment, but not in like a romantic way. Okay, ready? Mark my words, Prince. I will be your undoing. And that's good and all, right? But then he says, oh, darling, I look forward to it. Okay. So yep, that's all I gotta say right now. I'm gonna keep reading, obviously. I'm on page 100, and so far I am really enjoying it. These 100 pages have gone by so quickly, and I am just like eating it up. I want to know more, and that is obviously such a good quality in books, so I'm gonna keep reading. My goal is to get to at least 40% through today, so I don't know what page that is, but we'll see. I'll keep you updated. So I've gotten to the point in this book where they are doing interviews kind of before the games start, and oh my gosh, it's finally Peyton's turn, and I'm so scared, but also excited. But like, I absolutely hate secondhand embarrassment, so I hope she doesn't embarrass herself, but like also, is she gonna do something like PETA did and like make it dramatic, make it a show, or like what? I don't know. Ugh, what are you doing? Ugh, okay. Please go well. I can't do this. This is so like nerve-wracking and terrifying. I hate it, but I also love it because like, why are words on paper instilling these feelings in me? Both good times and bad over here. So something bad is definitely about to happen in this book, but I have to share my thoughts before full chaos breaks out. But I am now halfway through. I'm on page 251, chapter 29, and oh my gosh, the banter between these two, between Peyton and Kai, is absolutely insane. I was reading this in class today and I had to hold back bodily reactions. I wanted to jump up and down, I wanted to kick my feet, I wanted to giggle. I couldn't stop the smile on my face, so I probably looked like an idiot, and I was reading it on my phone, so I was just like the whole class. Like, I probably looked like a maniac, but I genuinely couldn't help it. Chapter 27 and 29, every chapter. I have some specific moments I would like to call out. In chapter 26, there was a whole "who did this to you" thing, and I was like, oh my gosh, okay. I didn't think I would actually like that, but when the time came, I was eating it up. Oh my gosh. Towards the end of chapter 26, so Kai said, if I am to be her enemy, I want it to be because she loathes herself for wanting me. Are you kidding me? In the last line of chapter 27, apparently. Oh yeah. I was taking notes while at school so I could talk about this with you. So are you ready for this? So Kai says, you can leave me to bleed out if you must, because I only want your hands all over me if you want them to be. So, and then she thinks in her head, my eyes snap to his gray ones, already pinned on me. I am playing a very dangerous game, walking on a sharp blade and hoping I don't get cut, playing with fire and hoping I don't get burned, swimming in a dangerous current and hoping I don't drown. He is dangerous. And even with that one thought echoing in my mind, I hold his gaze and put my hands on him. Okay. I'm just going on and on, but I really have to say these quotes because this is insane. I have never read a book where the chemistry between these two people are so intense like this. Anyways, they kind of associate each other a lot with like burning and drowning and fire and poison and dangerous and death, but honestly, that's how all best relationships are, of course, you know? So basically, yeah, sorry for the long rant. That's all I gotta say. Like I said before, I'm on page 250, and I'm trying to kind of read 100 pages of this today, so I'm already at the halfway mark. I'm gonna read at least 50 more, but I might read more if, like, obviously I'm hooked, so yeah. That was my halfway update. I am loving this book so far. It is, like, so great. But there's still 250 pages left, so there is like some room for error, but so far it is definitely a 5-star. This is like so good. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna get back to reading this, and I'll update you with any more thoughts later on. This couple is actually going to be the death of me. I cannot do this. They are like, the tension, bro. The tension. The banter. Oh my god. Two characters have never been more in love than these two. But I know something terrible is obviously gonna happen, because like, because she's an ordinary and he's an elite and he doesn't know that yet. Anyways, guys, I'm on chapter 54, page 428, so I have this much left and I don't think I can do it. Anyways, that being said, I will see you tomorrow to complete this book. I think I know what's gonna happen at the end. Well, that's not good. I hope I'm wrong, but I think I'm right. So. Oh my gosh, I didn't record my reaction. I'm so upset, but like the biggest, oh my gosh. Guys, oh my gosh. I just got to chapter 66, and this first page of chapter 66. Oh my golly gee. Oh my. Oh. Oh. The epilogue. Oh my gosh, it's a different POV. Ooh. Somehow I forgot that would happen. So, is this the best book ever written in the world? No. Is this the most unique book never been done before? No. Is it the most life-changing book that will change your opinion on the world and everything in it? Definitely not. But, am I going to be rating it a 5 stars? Absolutely. Powerless, my good friends and worst enemy. How I love you so. Honestly, my brain can't even get words to describe this book. It was just like candy. I ate it up. I was hooked from page 1 and it didn't lose my interest at all. Oh my gosh. Peyton and Kai, I love them so much. A lot of times I am like really kind of embarrassed by both like the male main character and the female main character, and while this book definitely had some of those, I have never believed tension or a relationship more. These two are meant for each other. Their tension, their banter, unmatched. I have like 600 million quotes in here that I highlighted while I was reading, and they are just so good. I find when a book is really good, I get less eloquent with my words, because when a book is bad, you have more to say, right? But then when a book is good, at least for me, all I have to say is, wow, I love this book, and wow, it's really good. So basically, if you haven't read this, do so right now. I think the second book is coming out soon. I saw a TikTok the author posted of her book. The second one is called Reckless, I believe. And I saw her posing with it in Barnes & Noble, so that's gotta be a sign it's coming out soon, right? But this is gonna be a part of a trilogy, and like, ugh, this is the first time I think I'm gonna have to actually wait for a book to come out. July 2nd? That's in like 3 months. That's basically decades. I better hurry up and wait. Anyways, so 5 stars, which means this video ends when we get a 5 star, and look, here we are. Quick recap of this video. We read 4 books, and I think that's pretty good. I was prepared for this video to go on for like at least 8 books, so you know, 4, I'm good with that, I'm good with that. The first book we read was The Hurricane Wars, and Powerless was everything that book wanted to be. Actually, now that I'm thinking of the Hurricane Wars, what even was it? I can't even think of the plot. This is actually really bad. Why can't I remember this? Oh my gosh. But I remember the other books in this video, so at least I still have like a 75% retention rate. Okay, so then after the Hurricane Wars, which was a 3.5, we read Piranesi, which was a 4.5, so very, very close to a 5 star, but I do still stand by the 4.5 rating, at least as of right now. The ending, like I said in my review, just wasn't as up to par as I wish it would have been compared to the rest of the book. And then we read The Office of Historical Corrections, and I think I gave that one a 3 star, which, you know, not great, but not the worst in the world. And then, of course, the book I just went on a tangent about, Powerless, with the 5 stars, which concludes this video. Overall, I think it was a very successful challenge, and I definitely want to do another one of these if you want to see another one, so make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more awesome, super duper cool content just like this in the future. Also, if you can't tell, if you're a returning viewer, the awesome, super duper cool stuff, that is definitely sarcastic. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I don't know what else to say, so I'm just gonna leave it right here. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye everyone.